when we talk about the rule of law in this European Union. We have confidence in Hungary. Hungary is a country of freedom. Hungary managed to fight free of communism, and we have every confidence in the Hungarian people.
Auch sagen, wenn wir über Ungarn heute
There is one other thing that occurs to me in this debate. It's the fact that 2.8% GDP growth by Hungary is putting Hungary in the driving seat of Europe and is doing far better than many of the left-governed countries in Europe. And also, since 2010, Viktor Orbán has had more than 50% of the electorate reconfirming him, and it's obviously upsetting to many on the left of our spectrum that such a great majority could turn out in support of him.
But when Mrs. Harms is talking about similar methods, when Mr. Verhofstadt talks about nationalism, I think this is quite an exaggeration. And then there's talk of the Orbán debate being ended. That's ridiculous. We asked for this debate in the first place. So, we need to keep things in proportion and put things into perspective. So we didn't hear much about the actual content of the migration debate, that Hungary is actually an example here in this debate. A lot of people in the left who took the floor could have said something about this, but they didn't. But there's one thing I have to say quite clearly about Mr. Orbán. The principle in the European Union is that we can speak about everything in Europe. Everything can be discussed. Freedom of speech, however, always goes hand in hand with responsibility.
Colleagues, we have very clear requests. The freedom of researchers in the EU has top priority. It has to be defended. Those responsible in the university just want to do their job. They want to teach students. So I'd like to ask Mr. Orbán to take on board the Commission's requests and implement them, please. And Hungary shouldn't be made a scapegoat. Hungary has done excellent work, and conservative policies that are part of our values. We're not going to be told who can be part of our political family.
Fidesz is doing a good job in Hungary. We have a good economic development there. And on the other hand, Viktor Orbán was also contributing to stop the illegal migration through the Balkan route. So that was positively received. And that's why we are looking forward for good luck and for good success for Viktor Orbán's party, for Fidesz in Hungary. We hope that he can win.
But one thing must be clear. If we say generally that you have to be afraid about Muslims and generally attack a religion, then we do the job of the jihadists who want to create a clash inside of our societies. Europe is the idea of freedom of religion and the separation between state and churches. We have invented human rights and not Christian rights on this continent. In the past, I have to say, Hungary was always ready to compromise. I must tell you that Fidesz was even ready to change the constitution of the country to take some of the considerations of the Commission, the last Commission, Viviane Reding's considerations, into account and implement them in the constitution of Hungary. So my political family will finally decide this evening about our voting list for tomorrow. But I have to tell everybody, without the readiness of the Hungarian government to solve the current issues, the legal concerns which are on the table, the start of a dialogue based on Article 7.1 could be needed.
Gábor.
Sándor. Doesn't matter. A question about Hungary. Mr. Weber, did you see the billboards in Hungary with the face of Judith Sargentini and Guy Verhofstadt and George Soros saying that the pro-immigration majority of the European Parliament wants to get the right of Hungary for border protection? And what is your assessment about these kind of campaigns, and do you feel like, for example, for yourself, are you part of this pro-immigration majority of the European Parliament?
First, I would joke a little bit when I would say that I'm really disappointed that I am not also mentioned there on this leaflet, because I also voted in favor of Article 7. It's simply unacceptable. It's simply unacceptable to mix the migration debate with the rule of law debate. I said this already when Viktor Orbán was here in this plenary a few weeks ago. We discussed afterwards 2 hours with him, and it's politically not fair to mix these two things together, because they have nothing to do.
The EPP decided today to suspend the membership of Fidesz inside of the EPP family. Practically, that means that Fidesz cannot anymore present candidates for free posts in the party. They cannot vote anymore in any kind of EPP assembly, and they are even not anymore allowed to participate in meetings. I give you an example. Tomorrow, when we have our summit as the EPP leaders, Viktor Orbán will not anymore be present there.